Hello music fans, welcome to the Death by Unicorn channel. Today we're talking about my top 10 metal, rock, and prog albums of 1983. But before we get to the list, I'll give a few honorable mentions. And if you haven't already, definitely check out my top 10 of 1980, 81, and 82 that I posted right before this. So my first honorable mention is Cost of Living by Rick Wakeman. This is a hard rock and progressive rock album. It's very good, but not quite excellent. He's a great keyboard player, well known from his time in Yes. So definitely check this out if you want to hear some cool keyboards. He also put out another album in 1983 called Golay, the original film soundtrack, which is also pretty cool. It's more on the prog rock side, and it's a soundtrack for a film about the 1982 FIFA World Cup held in Spain. The film was narrated by Sean Connery. Another honorable mention is Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. This is heavy metal slash hard rock, more so in modern times I'd call it hard rock, but at the time heavy metal. It's Ozzy's third solo album, the first to feature Jake E. Lee on guitar. Not as good as his debut Blizzard of Oz for me, but still pretty good, just not very good like that one. Uh, Pipes of Peace by Paul McCartney is another honorable mention. This is more of a pop album. It's his fourth solo album. It features two collaborative songs with Michael Jackson, which are Say, Say, Say and The Man. And then the last honorable mention that I'll put out in this video is Born Again by Black Sabbath, a heavy metal album. Not their best work, but worth hearing. Now let's jump into the top 10 proper. Number 10 is Dramatic Measures by Kansas. This is a hard rock album, more on the arena rock, getting a bit poppier than their earlier stuff. This is their ninth album. It's a definite dip in quality from what they've done up to this point, but it's still a pretty well done album. Now we're at number 9, which is Crisis by Mike Oldfield. And this is progressive rock with pop influences. It's his eighth album. It starts with an almost 21-minute epic title track on side 1, and then it features 5 shorter songs on side 2, including Moonlight Shadow, which is a catchy but simple pop song. And now at number 8, I've got Script for a Jester's Tear by Marillion. This is progressive rock. It's the debut album by this British neo-prog band. If you're a fan of Genesis, I think you'll like this. Number 7 is Kilroy Was Here by Styx. Oh no, I skipped one. Number 7 is Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden. This is heavy metal. Their fourth album. My favorite track on here is The Trooper. Such a great lead guitar riff. Great catchy vocal melodies, great guitar solos. And then number 6 is Kilroy Was Here by Styx. This is more of a pop rock album, their 11th album. It's a concept album and a rock opera about a world where rock music is outlawed. And it's the last album by the classic lineup of the band Styx. It features the hit Mr. Roboto. Now we're at number 5, which is Kill 'Em All by Metallica. This is thrash metal, their debut album. And it's regarded as the groundbreaking album for thrash metal, possibly where the genre of thrash metal started, though maybe there were a couple of examples of earlier bands playing with this sound, and it's hard to define where the line is between traditional heavy metal, speed metal, and thrash metal. So it's hard for me to say, but I think it's a fair pick for the first thrash metal album of all time, and it's definitely very influential in defining the thrash metal sound. Number 4 is Genesis and their self-titled album. It's a pop rock album. It's their 12th album. And they've essentially gone full-blown pop here on this album in 1983. I think a lot of people hate the song Illegal Alien and say it's their worst song, but I don't think it's that bad. I think in my last video I mentioned what I think the worst Genesis song is, and it was Who Done It. Of course, though, Illegal Alien, it's not the highlight of the album or anything, but they have some good catchy pop songs to start off the album with Mama and That's All. And yeah, those are the first two songs of the album. They're just great, catchy pop songs, and that's mostly what you'll get on here, as opposed to their usual prog stuff from earlier in their career. Number 3, Synchronicity by The Police. This is a new wave album with post-punk and pop influences. It's their 5th and final album. It's their most successful release. It includes their big song, Every Breath You Take, which is a classic stalker song, if you listen to the lyrics. And I really love the opening track, Synchronicity 1, and the sequel, Synchronicity 2. Every song on here is great. I know some people might hate the song Mother, and I could totally understand why, as it's kind of meant to sound bad, but in like a weird way. I kind of like it. I like the weird 7 beats per bar time signature. I like the evil, demented sounds. The vocals on Mother are a bit crazy and hard to handle, but once you get used to it, it's got a vibe to it. Number 2 is Frontiers by Journey. This is a hard rock album. Their 8th album features the hits Separate Ways, Faithfully, and Send Her My Love. But really, every song on this album is good. And then my number 1 album in 1983 is 90125 by Yes. A great pop rock album. They've got a lot of new wave influences in here, and they still have some hints of their progressive rock roots. It's their 11th album, features their big hit Owner of a Lonely Heart. But really, this whole album is just really great pop. They know how to end each side of the vinyl as well, with their most progressive epic on each side, Changes and Hearts. I know a lot of people don't like this album by Yes, but I love it, and pretty much every song on here is great. So definitely check out 90125 by Yes, my favorite album of 1983. Let me know what your favorites are down in the comments and what you think of mine, and hit that subscribe button if you want to know when my next video is coming out. It'll be on 1984. Until then, peace out.